Hey everybody, how you guys doing this morning? I hope everyone got the time right this week. Happy Saturday, guys. What's up? No, sorry. I've Kraft Heinz here. Pickle juice mimosas for all my friends. Good morning, guys. When pickle? I don't know. What's up, guys? Uh, that's correct. I'm trying to get Zakir in here, but I have no idea how. He should have like permissions, but for some reason it's not letting him in. All right. Now that everyone's gone, Wind Moon. CNBC thing? Yeah, I did. It was funny, I guess. I've gotten it's just like immediately like anytime anything like funny or meme worthy happens on the community, I get like 300 messages about it and I'm already tired of it. It's not even like from you guys. It's just from like redditors that don't even watch the stream. They're like, "Oh, I don't read your DD or anything, but I wanted you to comment on this CNBC thing." Or like, "I know you're a paid shill. Why is she in trouble?" Time to take out the real MOASS button. I can't start the MOASS on the weekend. Good morning, Midnight Angel. How's everyone feeling today? Oh, YouTube said no mod for the day. Yeah, I don't know how to get him in here. I hope he's able to get in. You may have started this. I had Kraft Heinz open because I was looking at like my gear today. So I have some free Kraft Heinz that I've gotten here from Webull, but I have more. I have some that I bought like March of last year. Morning, everybody. Everybody rolling in. Good morning. Yeah, Zakir can't get in here apparently, Aaron. Yeah, he's not in. Oh well. That's unfortunate. I'll just moderate. It's fine. But no, we're not responsible for you quitting your jobs or any of that. I think so, Windmill Willie. I think I did get a free Kraft Heinz from you, but I have like 100 more shares of it, and so I was just looking at like my cost basis. It was worth a shot. Do you agree that MOASS won't begin until after the shareholder meeting due to GME execs getting stock compensation based on average closing price of the previous 30 trading days prior to the meeting. I mean, it's possible. Like, see, here's the thing is like, I'm not sure that GME has any like responsibility for starting the MOASS, right? Like, it's not like just in their like ballpark. Like, they're not the only ones who can start it. The stream isn't very secure without him. I know. Dress code, no cowboy boots, plus shorts combo allowed. Gotta say, the Webull GUI is indeed really. Oh yeah, it's awesome. That's like the only thing I really like. Like that's like, well, there's a couple other things I like about Webull, but primarily the data is super cheap. Like Opera on other trading platforms is expensive as hell, and on here it's like $2.99. Like they incentivize you playing options, and so they price the options data super cheap. It's not super in-depth options data, but it's decent. And they're also going to start offering like a better level 2 soon for like I think it's like $60 a month. Was this week pretty much all sideways? No. No, we actually had like a really good week, you know? Like we opened, what was Monday? Monday was the 1st, right? Let's see here. So on the 1st, we opened at like 230. We had a high of 294, and we closed the week at like 248. So, I mean, still up for the week. Like $18, like almost $20 for the week. It's not bad. Yeah, windmill. So I kind of do that too. I'll use Webull Charting a lot, and then trade in like ATP, because I actually like ATP's trading. I just can't stand the rest of their UI. And for like some brokerages like Vanguard, like you have to have a different charting software because it's such garbage. It's okay. I'm prepared to quit before it even became aware of the GME thing. The compensation plan is advisory only. Yeah, I don't really know too much about their compensation plan. I mean, I guess like Cohen could get like a little bit of flack, but I mean, maybe it's in GME, like the corporation's best interest for the squeeze to happen before then, right? Like, it's not like they want to pay their executives extra, right? Like, they might get pissed, but they're in contracts, so what are they gonna do? Like, that would be the first instance I ever heard of a corporation like manipulating their own stock price in order to compensate executives. Besides, like Enron. Can you subscribe and get installed? Yeah, probably. But I mean, I I don't even know if he has access to the like members, the rest of the members stuff. But he's not a member, so it's like I don't know how to, like there's no way for me to give him permissions. Opera is free for the first 3 months. Yeah, Opera's free for the first 3 months. I think like all the data's free for 3 months. It's going quick overall. Sure, we got really good and exciting days, and the slower days. This is way better than months of 150 to 180. Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, this trend on GME seems to be continuing, right? Like, back here, when I predicted it started, like, when I first started talking about this thing, we were like back here. Hold on, I gotta open Epic Pen so I can show you guys stuff. So when I first started talking about this trend, we were like back here. If you like look back at like my weekly DDs, and I was like, I think this was it, right? So this was our wedge. Like this is where our wedge broke down. And this was like the upside, right? That's when we like broke that floor and moved up through the wedge. If you guys remember that, like, well, not the wedge, but the pennant. Um, and I was like, okay, we're not going below 157 anymore, and we're just going to continue this trend. And so far, it's played out over, I don't know, like 3 weeks now, and it doesn't look like it's stopping. Like, we had this deviation here, which I talked about in the DD, but like, I mean, it's just gonna keep going, right? And then like every Monday, as like the option pressure kind of releases, and like max pain is kind of like in the air, like I think we're just gonna go up, right? Because it seems like the long bulls not only are starting to realize there's no relevant short pressure on the stock, right? But they're also realizing like that they can get away with this strategy every week, and the shorts can't really do anything about it. And so every week, imagine like you're a long fund and you have this stock, and you can literally just make it go up 12% week over week. Like it's nuts. And I think the GME price movement is in direct correlation to all the other meme stocks being covered, right? Oh, you can't see the pen. Sorry. I forgot to. Sometimes OBS doesn't pick it up when I turn it on. Um, but yeah, I was just saying essentially like we're still following the same pattern, and it started back here when we broke out of the wedge. So the original wedge came through here, and then that was when we first broke out, and we just haven't returned to that baseline level at 157 again. Like it's just been nothing but upwards pressure. We had this slight deviation, and then it's just gonna continue, right? Like, will we cross 300 this week? I don't know. We had what, a move of, so the previous week we moved from 180 to 242. So this was what, $62. And then this week we went from 224 to 294, which was it looks shorter because this chart's logarithmic, but it's actually a longer, like this bull flag's actually longer. If I switch to linear, you can see that, but hold on. So we went from two, this is like 220 to 294 is like $74, right? And then this week's is just going to be even bigger. So if we open Monday trading at like 250, I expect that we'll go, what, $86 to the upside? That'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting, right? Like if it's just like 12 every week. How much is this one? Hold on. Now I'm curious. This was 157 to 180, right? No, this was 160 to 180. So this was 20. And then this section here. So I just have to add these two together. because this got suppressed, right? And then like it continued its climb here. But this was like 170 to 180. So it's another 10. So this was 30. This climb here was $30. Hold on, I gotta clear all this because this is like a mess. So this was 30 here. And 62. And then 74. What's up, guys? Everyone coming in. How you doing? This is the longest. It might be the longest we've been above 200. Let me see. We were above 200 for like a decent amount of time back in March. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days. And then now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're 7 days in. So let's see what happened 7 days in last time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Huh. Nothing really. The price went down a little bit 11 days in last time, but still looks good. You the man, man. Man, I want to be a man like you, man. GG, man. Isn't that like a song from like Jungle Book? It's like, I want to be like you. I don't know, for some reason that reminded me of Disney's The Jungle Book. King Louie. Jay Fresh, thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah, we were above 200 for a while in March, and we'd also gotten much higher in March. Well, it's 11 trading days too, so that's like two weeks in a day, right? No, I didn't really talk about the silliness on CNBC too much. Yeah, for sure, windmill. Looking like SPY hit 422.92. You see this uptrend continuing. Let me look at the SPY. Let's back out and look at this fucking thing because it's a mess. That's November. I need to go further back. All right, so SPY. There. Yeah, I mean the SPY's definitely nearing like a correction point, right? So it almost corrected here like a couple weeks ago. But it looks like it's gonna come in, and then if it punches through this bottom support, it's gonna revert to like at least here. Let's see. Yeah. So it could drop to there. Just like for its normal pattern. But also the SPY can do crazy shit too, right? Like they can just announce government programs or something. It'll just keep, it'll just start trending away from support again. Predicting the SPY like that, like predicting corrections in the SPY can be really hard. And they don't last long either because they're like a huge market opportunity. So it's very hectic. But the all-time high is starting to look pretty shaky. SPY and the VIX. You can look at like 20-year bonds. So like they have a CBOE one on here. So you can like watch this. This is like the volatility in the TLT, like the 20-year Treasury bond is what this tracks. So like maybe we go out to like the monthly. This one doesn't go back very far. Let me see if I can find a different indicator. Here. Let's see. No data on here for that. Oops. I'm not sure how to find that on here. I sure as TLT is usually pretty good. But how far back does it go? Oh, it goes pretty far back. It goes back to like 04. So if you look at like 08, it gets dropped pretty hard. And then like where we're currently trading, so it's coming down right now. So this is like one of the reasons I'm short the Treasury bonds, because if it breaks through this resistance at like 139, I mean, this is an ETF, but if it breaks through that resistance at 139, I think it's going to drop to like 114, 101. So there's a huge discrepancy there. Also, they've been shorting the bond market like crazy lately. So there's a lot of downward pressure on it. Shorts. Can we revisit the idea that the shorts are hidden and evaluate where the hiding places are? It's likely in the options, right? Yeah, most likely. Most likely on reporting dates, right? It's like on reporting dates, or like 24 hours before, they're buying massive amounts of deep in the money options in order to so they don't have to report the short position. They can report it as a long position, or they can just report it as like an options position, and that keeps them from having to like reveal their hand, right? Because if because like no one, based on like an options position, no one can really tell if it's naked short, right? So long institutions can't move against that because they don't know. I think SPY will behave after Thursday CPI announcement. Ugh. What's CPI? Like the labor, the like price index? Is that what you're referring to? Consumer price index announcement? I don't know. Is it going to be good? have consumer goods really gone up in price that much? I mean, like inflation, like I would be worried if like the cost of goods was going up in response to projected inflation, but currently I don't think that's the case. Oh, that looks great. I seriously wish I could just download what's in your brain. Just the market stuff. The rest would probably traumatize me. I think the market stuff might traumatize you. It's your unofficial forecast for this week's price action. I think I don't know. This is kooky, right? But like since we had that like so we went 62 74. So just try for 86. So if we open at 250 on Monday, 336 for the early part of the week with a consolidation back down to like 310, 300 as the week closes out. That would make sense. Right? Usually when you find patterns in the market, they like to repeat themselves. And then when other people like them, and then the more people that pile on to like the recognition of that pattern, the more likely it is to repeat itself. I was also reading any good books to read. But basically, I think we're gonna have another like bull flag like Monday, Tuesday, right? This week was a little weird because it was 4 days. But yeah, I think we're just gonna form another bull flag and then come back down and consolidate. Any good books to read and learn about trading in TA? So like you guys ask me this question a lot, and I've thought about it pretty extensively. And like there's a couple decent books. Like you can read um technical analysis of the financial markets, which is like literally all of Warden's, like everything Warden knows about TA comes from that book. Uh, and that's on like Amazon or something. You probably find it on LibGen for free if you want the ebook. It doesn't cover all that much, but it's a good like intro book. And then there's Day Trading as a Living, which is free on like the Kindle app. I think it's the guy's name is Aziz, and it's called How to Day Trade. I found both of these books long after I started paper trading. They are okay. Mostly because they're easily gotten for free. Um, so that's a start. Investopedia is probably your most valuable resource. There's like this is probably the most comprehensive financial dictionary available on the web by a long shot. Also absolutely free. Um, so these three things are like a good foothold. Uh, But I think like ultimately what makes a good trader is practice and critical thinking and be like pattern recognition and understanding like probabilities, pattern recognition, critical thinking, and most likely uh, very good emotional control. I think if you can like kind of bundle up a bit of each of one of those skill sets, like that's going to help you far more than any of this, like any of these books. Um, Even more than like technical analysis. Like technical analysis is just a tool with which to like kind of prove your theories, right? More than it is like it's not predictive. So like anything of the predictive nature, like you have to figure out yourself. YouTube's a great resource. There's a lot of information on there. Watching like other traders, I don't find too helpful because a lot of the issue is like you'll never, first of all, you'll never really be able to use anybody else's um like system, right? Like everyone's got system. You have systems. You have scalpers, you have breakout traders, you have swing traders, and they all do it differently, and they all have preferred stocks, and that's like something you really only learn from practice and like paper trading and doing it yourself and getting more and more experience. It's like there's a reason that day trading is not really a degree, and yet almost every large financial firm has a day trading desks, right? Because there's profitability there. It's just that like it's not really a skill that can be taught. It's a skill that's learned because it really does work differently for everybody. I know guys that trade like VWAP and volume and make, 600K a year over year. And I know guys who trade like complex cloud formulations and with combined with like stochastic RSI, which is like very very complicated, or like Elliott wave, right? That only make like, I don't know, like 6% returns. So like they make like 110, right? And their losses are significantly higher. So it's like this guy obviously just doesn't know like all the math and the shit, right? Like this guy just like he's been trading since like the 70s. He just trades what he knows, and he's very, the difference between these two is that this guy knows when to get out. He's got tons of experience, right? He's tried all this bullshit and found that it's just a waste of time. And so he just trades what he knows. He's got a good feel for the market, right? Like he's got like a good gut feeling. And because of that, he's far more successful. Also, like when you start, the more complex your trades get, the harder they are to unwind. And I'm probably somewhere in the middle of that scale between not income wise, but just like the way I approach it. But everyone will find, I think like if everyone tries to do someone else's system, that's why 90% of day traders fail. I think if you can come up with your own that feels comfortable for you to use, which is hard, right? Like you've really got to be disciplined. You've got to practice every day. You've got to not use real money. And that the temptation there is real rough, great, because like people love to gamble. Um and like if you can get past all that and just focus on the discipline of actually doing it, then like I feel like a lot more people would be more successful with day trading as a living. heard you mention that food is a good investment during inflation, and someone posted about TTCF. Consider going in long shares on options. Could I ask your thoughts on this? So yeah, generally food manufacturers and food retailers and drugs do not pharmaceutical do excellent during depressed economies. This has like always been true. And this is because people have to eat and their existence is miserable. So cigarettes, alcohol, and now marijuana. Um, these are all probably gonna do very well during a recession. Unfortunately, because marijuana is not legalized in the US, the investment opportunities for marijuana are very, very limited. But yeah, food, like, I don't know who's TTCF. I'll look that up. So I'm not sure the ticker. TTCF. Oh, Tattooed Chef. Maybe. See, they're new. Like fairly new, right? Um, they've got how much trading data? It's like 2018. I mean, this is not. This is like gourmet, like millennial food, right? Like I work too much. I don't have time to like cook my own food, but I want to eat something healthy. That's not the kind of food that does well in a depressed economy. The kind of food that does well is like Campbell's soup, mac and cheese, like basic essentials. In 2008, like one of the most sold food items besides white bread was like peanut butter. You know, it's just like people start making peanut butter and jellies. They go to like that like 1920s diet, like 1920s like economic collapse diet, right? Because like in most Americans, especially multi-generational ones, those foods have been present in all of our lives, right? And like we enjoy eating like nicer things now, and like the culinary like cuisine is more globalized, and so we have a lot access to a lot of shit. But all that just fades away when you need to buy $2 dinners, you know. um so yeah, I don't think they're specifically a good company to invest in for if you're looking at inflation. Food retailers do really well because inflation is priced into their model, right? So their profit margins don't actually change. uh Things like Kroger or Walmart, those are not gonna fail during a depressed economy or during high periods of high inflation. So yeah, I wouldn't look at them. I would look at bigger entities with huge cash balances. I mean, do a lot of research, but like companies like Coors, Budweiser, those are super good inflationary hedges. Um, Philip Morris, Altria, Kroger. Who's that other big food chain? Like grocery store chain. I can never remember the name of it. The company that owns Albertsons. I forget the name of them. They've been like a big acquisition like spree lately, so their stock stayed pretty devalued. They're like a West Coast company, but they're one. Um, Kraft Heinz has always been like through every inflationary period and basically the stock market history. Kraft Heinz has killed it. Um, I bought 100 last year during the pandemic announcement at like 20. Um, and it's already starting to do well. And if you look at like Kraft Heinz current trend, like on the daily, they're doing almost as well as the SPY, maybe better, right? So they're beating the market like year over year since the pandemic started. And if there's inflation, they'll beat the market even harder. So I hope that helps you out, Ape Angel Fire. So you gonna buy any call options for GME this week? Probably. I'll probably be looking at like Monday morning. Our IV might be kind of low, because like Friday was pretty lackluster. So like Monday morning, I'll be looking in like the probably the cheapest out of the money strike price. So like my prediction is like possibly we hit 336, right? And then so probably like 350s or 325s I'll be looking at early Monday morning, but we'll see. Obviously, like I'd want to see if there's a dip. There's like things I have to investigate in pre-market to determine if that's a good play. So like don't just follow that play. Like if I think there's going to be a dip, like I could get them, for hundreds of dollars cheaper than if we like the market opens on a green candle and volatility spikes again. Fracking YouTube. Are you, as a streamer, able to determine whether or not your stream stops for a viewer if that viewer doesn't have the app in the foreground? Is that a setting for the streamers? No, I don't think so. I don't have any settings on like how iOS pauses the stream. It wouldn't take much more than 33K a year. Yeah, I think so. I think keeping it simple with your indicators is the friends that I have that I've taught to day trade that have really gotten into it and stuck with it and been successful, have kind of followed that. They've been really successful, but I'm not like some guru. Like I'm not really into that idea. But that's the best advice I can give if you really want to be a day trader is to like keep it as simple as you can. That will make you far more money. And remember that all gains are cumulative, right? So the risk is all that really matters. As long as you don't risk a lot, you'll always eventually make money. And I've had some dry spells. I've had weeks where like every trade I hit my 2% risk. Like every single one. For like 2 weeks. And it just sucks so bad. But then you get one runner and make 30%. And it's all good again. But as long as you keep your risk low, then every time you hit a runner like that, you're up, right? I just joined. Apologies if discussed. Looking back on Wednesday, where we saw the price peak of 294, you think that was a margin call, forced liquidation, or other type of covering? It could have been. So I said I was looking for deviations, this week, but I don't think that was one, right? Like this seems like, because if you remember, actually, we dipped before and then we bounced right off like that resistance. Like Friday we dipped and we hit that upper resistance on this bull flag and then we just bounced. So I don't think this was covering. I think it was just a run up with zero short pressure. There were no shares available to borrow those 2 days. We just rocketed. Like, there was some good news. There was a little bit of FOMO coming in, not a lot, but a little bit. And then the shorts got their shit together and consolidated at like 294 and pushed the stock down throughout the rest of the week. But that's what we expect, right? We expect that price action. So it's within the expected range. We didn't dip out of this ascending pattern. Um, and we didn't tip out of it here. And I don't think we're really in a danger of doing that. So I think this week we're just going to continue up. Big same pattern, early week rise through like end of week consolidation. I'll cover it more in depth in my DD tomorrow, but that's what I'm thinking for now. What I'm doing after MOASS is going to gamble at the casinos. Well, you're going to be broke really quick if that's the case. Yeah, vaping could do well too. Cigarettes will do better. Potato chips, cereal. It might be, unethical to invest in cigarettes, but at the same time, people like money, so. Although I feel like if you're an American and you smoke, that's self-imposed, right? I could say that as somebody who smoked for a very long time. Yeah, Kraft Heinz H deck. Hold on, I am trying to get to everyone's questions. General Mills is another good one. Safeway's pretty good. I think, yeah, they have a pretty big network. I'm not sure how good their like spread is across the country. Like, I know grocery store retailers that operate in like the majority of the continental US do far better than like the regional ones during inflation, because the larger ones are able to negotiate better prices. Whereas the smaller ones really can't, and so inflation impacts them more. Like the East Coast and the Midwest, like everyone's got their own um regional grocery stores. I think Safeway is on the West Coast, but I'm not sure. But like things like Walmart, Kroger's everywhere, Walmart's everywhere, Target, those places will all do well. Also, the usage of food stamps goes up significantly during high inflation. And so grocery stores also benefit from that. How do you decide picking option strategies? It completely depends on the trade. Smocks. Not looking for personal picks, just a roundabout answer is fine. I mean, ideally, I get in at low IV with a far enough out expiration that I think it'll go into the money. I very rarely buy in the money options. I don't think they're like good value. I did on Nvidia this week and I made money off that, but normally I really don't buy in the money options. I'll buy near the like very near the money options. Unless it's like a super cheap underlying. Like AMC I've bought in the money options on previously. Uh Maybe there's like one or two other times. I think I've bought in the money options on Apple a few times, actually. That might be it. I don't have a audio stream up today. I'm having issues. Like I kept trying to start the stage and it wouldn't let me. So like the Discord East Coast is still like experiencing some problems, or at least I am in streamer mode. Will you teach us to day trade? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's like after MOASS, I feel like there's no point. And then right now, we're like too focused on GME, right? Maybe. I don't know. It could be interesting. It's just like absolutely not something you want to do if you're super wealthy. Just thinking more about like maybe like because I really do enjoy doing this and it's really fun. So like maybe after MOASS, like a few weeks, maybe a month after MOASS or something, I'll like maybe restart the channel as like maybe like a value investing kind of thing. That'd be cool. Where you like kind of Warren Buffettize everyone's finances. Where you do like corporate research and fun things like earnings and potential growth potential. We can sit around waiting months for entry opportunities. Maybe I'll just start my own like hedge fund. I don't know. High dividend yielding stocks after MOASS like IBM. I don't like dividend stocks. Capote. I mean, I guess it's fine, but I feel like you're getting like it's like getting like cash back, but like if I'm investing in a company long term, I'd rather have growth, right? Growth is always going to be better than a dividend. If we follow the current trend without catalyst, how much do you think GME could be on June 18th? That's interesting. Well, let's see here. Day. So if we go up on Monday to 336 and then close the week at like 310 and then 310 to 400 and 6, closing the week at like 395, like 395 ish, around there. Based off that pattern, I could drag like the resistance line out, I guess, to that date. Oh no. No. Damn it. Oh, it's gonna kill me. Let's see, where's the 18th? $6.18 or $7.18? $6.18? $6.18 like 300 for the lower resistance. Wait, hold on. Or like 270 to 300. I guess the upper one could be so it could be as high. It's difficult. So as high as like 475 or as low as 270. You got it, Smox. PepsiCo is a great one. Duke Energy is a good one. Yeah, I do a 2% risk on day trades. Swing trades is different. Options trades are different. when I do options, I risk 100%. Generally 10 to 100. So it depends on the option, but yeah, 10 to 100%. I only really do options on stocks that I think have like high volatility and are going to move really hard. And then I just risk the premium. So that's why you guys saw me like carry those options to Friday, because like my risk was the premium. 2% risk, so you never lose more than 2%. So say you have a $5,000 investing account, like this is your day trade account, right? And you buy, I don't know, there's like, say there's like some penny stock you're looking at, and you buy 1,000 shares or 5,000 shares. Say it's like $1 a share, and you buy 5K shares. Your risk is like 2% of $1, right? So 98 cents. So if it hit 98 cents, this would be your like stop loss here at 98 cents. So if it goes positive, you know, but that way you don't lose more than 2% of your whole position, right? Which would be $100 in this case. So your risk is $100. Or right? Yeah. But like your upside, like my upside is 10%. So if I hit 10%, I absolutely sell. I don't try to chase any higher than that. This is just for day trades, but I don't go any higher than that, and I don't lose any more than 2% from my entry. So like wherever you enter the stock, some people have lower risk, some people have higher. I know people who risk 5%, but because like if especially when you're starting and your like overall capital is low, it's very important to not risk like your whole account, right? So I always go in to like every order with a stop loss in place. I should find risk. Yeah. So if you hit 2%, you sell. 2% drop, you sell. I'll be broke. I have billions and billions and billions. I'll have. I don't know if you'll have billions and billions and billions. A billion is a lot of shares, right? If we hit 10 million a share and you're still holding, not that I don't have a lot of faith in you, GME to Uranus, but if we hit 10 million a share and you're still holding, that's still a lot of shares to get $1 billion, man. Sorry, joining late. Do you expect a big drop on Monday to lower the price for T+2? I'm looking to put in a big order at 240. We could see 240 Monday. We have room. Like, we have room to drop on Monday before we bounce. Just so you guys know. Before we bounce, we could hit. Hold on, I gotta fix these now because they're all fucked up from me trying to predict the future. Let's see. Oh, God, that's annoying. I don't even know what happened to it. It just disappeared. I have to redraw this whole thing. We could hit as low as, yeah, 242 before a bounce. Like 242.50 before we move to the upside would be like my next point. But I would watch for like a break below that because there's range on that lower trend. Like the bottom of the range is see, Monday, the bottom of the range is going to be like 235 is as low as it could go. So you watch for that. I'm looking for that for options as well. Is that like morning dip? I'm not simulcasting the audio. I'm having issues with Discord today. iOS premium streams a regular stream in the background, but for some reason won't stream this one in the background. Interesting. It's very odd. I don't know. Can you open like two windows on your phone and just have one window open and then like something like that? Safeway connected to Albertsons? Okay. I didn't know that. I just invest in Kroger. Like Kroger's the grocery store I buy because they're huge. And they're really well run. They have massive cash reserves. Mason T, say you have 30,000 buying power as a day trader. How much of that buying power would you use on a play? It depends on the play. My confidence in it, all of it. Right? My risk is 2% going into the trade. So I'm risking 2% of $30,000. Or I'm not. Like, if I don't have a lot of confidence in the play or it's super erratic, then I might not. Like, on a stock like Apple or something where I wouldn't expect, like, high volatility, I would risk all of it, right? Like, all 30 grand. So your risk is 6,000, right? Or 600. So it's not that bad. Like you're risking $600, and then if you get a 10% gain, or like even like a 5% gain, right? Like you're up 1,500. So it's pretty good. Not 15,000, 1,500. But yeah, I mean, I'd risk 600 for potential 15 or 3,000, right? But yeah, a lot of times I'll day trade like my whole account if I think it's like a good trade. I'll put like, back when I first started, most of my trades were like 25,000 in and then profit and then pull it out. But it's like doing a bunch of those, right? Because like if you do 25,000 and then you're up, like it's compounding, right? So say you get like 6% off this one, and then the next trade you make like 3%, and the next trade you make like 10%. Like this amount is just going to keep increasing at a compounding rate, right? And it's like daily. You can make all these trades in an hour. If you're under $25,000 in your account, you can't do that because you have to be on a cash account. And if you risk everything, then you have to wait T+2 to trade again. So, I mean, if you have like a really good opportunity, it's worth it. But like, say you have a $5,000 account, and you put all of that into a trade, make like 6%, then your money's locked for the next 2 days. Options settle in just T. So by the next trading day, they're available. So when I've had lower accounts, like when I paper traded. So when I paper traded, I did like a lot of like things to challenge myself, like start a $2,000 account and get it to 50, right? Or start a $5,000 account and try to get it to like 100 or 50,000. And like I found that until I hit 25,000, like options were better. Way more risk, but like at that point, I already knew what I was doing. Also, not really because it was fake money, right? But yeah, I found that options were better in smaller accounts because you don't have enough to get away from pattern day trading in the account, and then like options settle faster, so you can at least make a trade every day. You're about to retire from day trading. Share the secrets. Who will get a windfall, but not everyone's going to be wealthy. That's fair. I might not be wealthy. Who knows? After MOASS, will you personally get a financial planner? Absolutely. I would do this shit all the time. I'm down for rich people. Yeah, that sounds fun, right? We'll just do rich people streams. Be like, guys, you need to try this new wine from Napa. The owner of the vineyard shipped me a case. Just revel in elitism. Could be fun. Sam Jones. Yeah, there's no secrets that make up for experience. There's nothing I can tell you that will make you a better trader than practice. Ah, it's going to drive me nuts. I got to fix that for the DD now so I can screenshot it. Is there anyone that didn't believe the GME hype will be very interested post-MOASS? Informed YouTubers and can help them find future squeeze plays? Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, there may not be any squeeze plays after this plays out, man. Let me tell you, a lot of like transparency, like organizations, and like there's been a push for a long time for the American markets to like reveal short positions, and this would take that over the edge. Too many big entities would be affected by this in a negative way that they wouldn't allow it anymore. They're like, you have to remember that like all of these hedge funds and stuff, like they're not really the ruling like class in this scenario, right? They're still below the major corporations and ultra wealthy that give them money to invest, and those people will be pissed that they're gambling with their money, and those people will make sure that that doesn't happen again. In this way, they'll find new ways to gamble with their money, but not vis-a-vis naked short selling. Can you not do Control Z in Webull? What is... No. Skill GME. Hey, Claw Range. Happy Saturday, man. Yeah, you're 8% day over day, right? So usually in a trading day, if I hit 10% gains, I'm done. Like if I'm at 10%, and that might be 6 trades, right? But once I hit 10% gains, I'm out. Also in a trading day, if I hit 10% in losses, I'm out. That's a bad day. It's happened usually, and that's also can be over multiple trades. Usually even lower than that. Like if I hit 2 bad trades in a day, I'm done for the day. Like clearly I'm off. Market's having a weird day. Like I don't really carry. So it's my risk is 10%. So my reward is 10% for the day. My risk is 2% per trade. But yeah, 8% per day, and most days I hit it. I would say 4 out of 5 days, like based on the math I've done, I'll hit 10% gains and move on. 3 out of 5 days. Depends on the time of year. But there's a lot of days where I don't, and that's days I trade. But even more than that, there are days where I don't trade at all. I see no entry, no opportunity, and I don't trade anything. Like that pick that I made the other day, on like Autodesk I would have traded. The other one, HMD or HMB, I would have traded that. Like it ended up running and it ended up being like ultimately a good play. I know some of you guys got in on it. But like I wouldn't have traded it because the volume was too low and I wouldn't have predicted that it could have crossed its that upper resistance band. I have a single yellow dot on my hat. Yeah, sorry. Pennies are super risky because of how fast they move. I know people who've made millions on it. I know people who are very good at trading penny stocks. They know what to look for. But it's an erratic, fraudulent market full of issues. But there's some people that they're used to it. You know, it's like I don't trade commodities either, but there's a ton of money to be made there as well. Can you explain what BBKC means for the chart, or like how it works? You were pumped up about it last week. Thanks. Yeah, BBKC is just a squeeze indicator. It triggers, like it has a buy trigger, which is during periods of consolidation when the Bollinger Bands enter the Keltner channel. And then this is kind of like the buy signal, because at the end of this, you'll experience like all-time periods of volatility and volume as the like Bollinger Bands expand away again. And so the only issue with BBKC is it doesn't really tell you if the price is going to go down or up. It just tells you that it's going to do a thing. And it's going to do it. And then the reason I was excited about it is we'd had about, I think, 17 straight days of trading within like the BBKC, like with the Keltner or the Bollinger Bands inside the Keltner channel. And so the longer that period goes on, generally the more explosive the breakout is. And I would say our breakout's currently pretty explosive. Like the MACD and everything look good. It looks like it's continuing. I don't see any indication that we've stopped moving up. And I think as the price gets higher, we're going to move up more and more every time. Finviz is okay. You have to pay for it, though, for it to be worthwhile. That's what I'm using right now, but I hate it. Also, I had another scanner that I won't talk about, because I don't trust them anymore and I don't want to advertise them to anybody. But I'm currently in the market for a new like day trade scanner. And also I'm not really super incentivized to pick one up because I'm not doing a lot of day trading. But right now my picks are coming from from Finviz, like my scanner that I have set up on Finviz. How much do you put away for taxes? Oh, like 33%, something like that. Of gains, but you also have to like you have offset your losses. You just file quarterly. It's super easy. It's not a big deal. I mean, your brokerage keeps track of everything for you. Samosa. So you just print out your tax forms from your broker and take them to your accountant. You should definitely have an accountant because it will save you. You know, like I think the capital gains tax under $1 million is like 33%. I'm not even sure in this, but like a good accountant can probably save you I don't know, get you down to like 18%. So it's like not really that much different than having a job, right? It's almost the same as income tax, maybe a little lower. There's been quarters where I've paid more than 18%, but usually it's around there. But that's just me. Like, that's going to be different for everybody else's financial situation, depending on, a lot of other factors. Don't erase it. I like it. Here, I'll put the little yellow dot back. I agree, Windmill. Yeah, the working class and the poor will I mean, they already want to cut them out of the market, and this is definitely going to incentivize them to keep them out. I think I finally fixed my YouTube. What's up, Aaron? Well, I left my wallet at home. Mind buying me a Tesla? I'll hit you back someday. I don't have Tesla money. Your paper trading days discussing why, how. Yep, I did, Dr. K. I kept a journal. I tracked all my trades in Excel. You treat it like you're trading real money, but just don't use real money. Imagine it's like a video game and you want to win really, really bad, right? And I think about 10,000 hours of paper trading definitely leaves you the ability to become a very good trader. I don't think 6 months is enough. A lot of people say 6 months paper trading is sufficient. I disagree. YouTube didn't like my other name. Fix my account. Now I'm back. Witness me. Awesome, dude. Welcome to the members only thing. I'm glad you got that cleared up. What's the biggest loss I've taken? Probably UWMC. I held my entire. So I held my. It hit 8, and I saw a really good entry for a bounce back to 9, and I had the entire position in options, and it went down to like 750, and I just got absolutely crushed. I think I lost, like, before I could even get out of the position, I was already just demolished, and I think I took like 9K in losses on that. I think that's my biggest loss to date. That was rough. I'm still trying to figure out a way to like swing while I'm streaming, like a strategy that works for me. But not like, it's hard to like do the stream and pay attention to multiple tickers. So I think my best bet is to just do like one ticker at a time and just like focus on one trade at a time and just like swing options on like weeklies while I'm doing this in order to like maintain uh like a semblance of an income. I thought my TV had a dead pixel. What was your time frame from dipping your toes into trading to going full time? Oh, hmm. Like when I first started out, I was only doing 8:30 to 9:30. every day for about 2 years. And then I started to trade like market open, like in my third year of paper trading. So I do like 8:30. This also had to do with a change in my job that allowed this, but to 12:30. So my like I didn't have to be at my job till 1. Like I could do everything I needed to do from home until 1, and then I had to be at the office. And so I would trade from like 8:30 to 12:30 every day for like my third year. And that's when I started to like realize like this year's profits in paper trading were far in excess of my current salary. And I managed to maintain it for the full year. And that's when I quit my job and started doing this. And then I've been doing this for 2 years now. So 5 years total. But there's a way to always like work it into your day, especially with like how advanced like the phone apps are now. Webull's phone app I think is better than their actual desktop software, like significantly. I, if I day trade on Webull, I usually use my phone and not this. Like I'll use this on stream for like transparency and you guys can see what I'm doing, but like when I'm using it personally to trade, I just use my phone. The order execution's actually better. Dr. K over here with the TV, Mr. Moneybags. The attitude that you can skip the paper trading period is why 9 out of 10 people fail at trading. Yeah, I think so. Uh, I don't know. I think 5 out of 10 fail just on psychology. Some people really can't. I've watched so many people try and they really can't suppress like the exuberance and emotion and fear uh that comes with day trading. And then I think another 2 out of 10 fail because they can't handle the stress. I would say one out of 10 fails because they don't they don't paper trade first. That's just my opinion, though. I'm sure more would be because I do feel that paper trading would lessen those numbers, right? Like they would prepare you for the psychology. But then there's the other caveat where like people don't take paper trading seriously because it's not real money. They'll just like dump their account and lose it and like refill it. And like you can't do that. You have to be really disciplined with it. Everyone thinks they're special. Yeah. I don't think so. I think more people could definitely become day traders. I think it's a perfectly lucrative, acceptable career path for a lot of people, but it's not very popular. That's probably true, Luna. Yes. Yeah, you're correct, Sam. You would find out that you're going to fail if you took paper. But I feel like those people don't take paper trading seriously. So at some point, they're going to risk capital, right? Because I'm an emotional person. That's tough. I'm not at all. I mean, I am not a very emotional person. Like I lost 9K on UWMC, and I was just like, oh, that's a shitty day. And like, just what about the rest of my day? It was like a massive loss from like my position entry. It was like almost all of my entry into that position. Um, but like for me, it's the run ups where I get like a little too excited. I get a little like too much hopium going sometimes, and that I have to keep suppressed. But everybody will find like one aspect of it that really affects them, I think. Certain window settings, colors, not eating during trading. I don't eat during trading because, in fact, it slows me down. I paper traded eating during trading. If I had breakfast, I averaged like 1.7% lower gains over 3 months versus not having. It's like a small sample set, right? But if I didn't have breakfast, I did better. There's also science that backs that, but no, I don't have Windows settings or colors or any of that shit. I use Henkin Ashi, which may be the most superstitious thing I do, but I really I statistically show more success with that candlestick. So maybe it's just the way like it appeals to me visually. Thursday and Friday, I was really going down about the GME price action. Really? Hmm. But we're up so much for the week. I guess I see it. Yeah, it's the boredom. It's like that pinnacle, and then that feeling of like being let down, right? Like you hit that like we hit that like 294, and then we had to trade down for just the rest of the week. But ultimately, that's just the way stocks move. That's the roller coaster that you signed up for. Absolutely, Medved. I'll see you later, man. Or see you Monday. Happy Saturday, Eric. I just worry about I worry about it a lot. I think about that a lot, Sam. Uh, that's the most enticing thing about it, right? It's actually a casino in that regard. Is that you could go in there and come out rich, right? But you could also come out broke, like even more broke, which in some situations is catastrophic. We edging this stock. The peak is going to be a great release for some people. I don't even know honestly like on Superstonk. I don't even know how to answer that question, and it comes up so much, and it's like the one question I never answer from people. And it's like uh what happens if all the apes sell at 10 million, and like how do I how do I tell them that that's not going to happen, right? It's so difficult to like explain that. First of all, like for obvious reasons, like because like if you say anything negative on there, you immediately get like pitchforked to death. um but then like and I'm not really negative on the stock, so but there is something to that that like just can't be quantified, right? Like there's not gonna be 100%. And I hate this. I hate that it's not true, because I would love for the Fed to have to sit there and fucking print money for 5 years in order and like sell bonds in order to pay the people invested in the stock back for allowing this like rampant collusion to go on in the market for so long. But there's just not going to be 100% of apes at the peak. They're not going to be there. They're not going to be with us on the rocket ship. They'll be long gone, left tumbling down through the stratosphere. And like it's just the truth. Like I don't, and I don't know how to express that to people. I feel like I could express it to you guys because like obviously you guys have found value in the things I've said before. So I don't see why you wouldn't find value in this, but it's just not going to happen. Like, like I don't think it won't hit 10 million. I think it very well can, and I think that'll happen because of the amount of shares just held in, like in perpetuity, right? I think it'll eventually hit that price point, but I think so many people are going to sell at 10 and at 5 and at 25 and 125. And I think by the time we reach those levels of like 10 million at the peak of the squeeze, there's going to be like, I don't know, maybe 5% of people left. And so when they're like, how's the DTC supposed to pay for $10 million a share for the whole float? Like, there's just no good answer to that. It's like, they're not going to pay $10 million a share for the whole float. They're going to pay maybe $10 million a share for a very small amount of the remaining float that they need to cover. And that period at those price ranges is going to be so volatile that, like, probably only experienced traders are going to walk away with like, only experienced traders are going to really walk away with like the best gains in that time frame, right? Internal psychology can have effect on something considered to be pure numbers and chance. A good trader is probably a great people reader. Maybe. How are you going to spend your weekend? Oh, so I'm going to wrap up this stream, and then I have a bunch of errands I have to run. And then after that, I am going to edit down that discussion from yesterday about the borrow fee, because I realized that I didn't do a video DD on that because it was kind of too extensive. And since we ended up talking about it in stream anyway, that gave me a really good opportunity to like spend an hour talking about it, you know. And so I'm gonna try to edit that. My editing skills are absolute trash, but I'm gonna try to edit that down and get that out hopefully tonight. And then tomorrow I'm going to write my TA DD and then do the video and then back to streaming on Monday. Did you get some sleep? Good weekend naps. I got a little bit of sleep. I ended up being up super late last night, but I think it was up to like 3 a.m. But I slept till, I don't know, like 9 this morning. So I got like 6 hours of sleep, which is far more than I usually get. It is game theory. With a little bit of prisoner's dilemma thrown in. Like the lowest number of shares in the first pitchfork. If you say it might not hit 10 million for everyone, possibly. Do you think they'll intentionally let the floodgates open for AMC this week? I feel like the walls felt so much weaker than before. Possibly. So I might actually be looking at AMC options this week, especially if there's a dip Monday morning. I'm gonna look into. So I think AMC not following the same pattern as us, right, on the 4-hour. I think AMC is going to dip and then come up, probably back to this range, like a new lower high. And if that happens, I'd like to buy options here and sell them somewhere around there. Like, wait for the IV crush to come in on them, and then buy them low, sell them high. That's the play I'm looking at for on AMC this week. I'm not gonna let everybody else make all the money over there and not me, right? You truly believe 10 million is possible? I agree that people think they'll be able to hold and they get nervous and sell. I think it's possible. I think it's probable. I don't think people will hold. And it's there was a lot of reasons that I started this channel, but that was a big one. It's because there's real potential. Like, no one, I don't think anyone really understands why, but it's there. I think there's like too much internal FUD and nonsense and shit posting. But the potential really is there for this to be 100,000 a share, 500,000 a share, a million a share, 5 million a share. It exists. I know that like seems nuts, right? Like I have what 40 shares in this account or something. That could be $400 million. That's like I don't think that's fake at all. And I've been doing this a pretty long time. I'm pretty resistant to bullshit, but that aspect of it, not bullshit. But will people hold? No. But I don't think it matters. That's the other thing is I don't think it matters if they hold. I think it'll still hit those prices. I think it's that short. They've doubled down and doubled down and doubled down again, and there's just I think people don't realize how far over 100% it is, but it's unbelievable. And I think a lot of that has to do with the lender borrower agreements that we discussed yesterday in the stream, and also the fact that like they've let them dig their hole because they know that there's nowhere else for them to go, right? And lenders wouldn't do that otherwise, right? That's a hell of an incentive to just let them keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing and just making them shares, right? And just letting them do this as long as they can. And you never see regulation come out in the way it has been from the SEC or the DTCC, and they've just been pumping out as much regulation as they can to save their asses from the fallout of this. And look at news media, and I mean there's so many signs that this really is that big, and no one believed it in 2008 either. When 2000, I've researched a lot on 2008, and no one saw it coming. And then the people that did see it coming were in complete denial. I'm low-key hoping it takes a while. I'm new at this, so I can get a really good grip on the exit strategy. Yes, I'm selfish. It'll take a while. It's like I don't think it's gonna be quick. If anyone presses the sell all button at 10 million, I mean, yeah, that's true. If they sold at market, that's another thing, right? Is that like, even though I've done the DD and stuff, I don't feel like enough people understand it. I've tried to answer all the questions on it, and that was hard. That post hit like I don't know, had like 45,000 views or something on that post, and like I answered every question I could, but I feel like even with the answers, the majority of people did not understand um like proper order placement or how that works. Most of them were just mad that I said stop limit, but they don't even understand what a stop limit is. They think it's a stop loss, and that's fallout from Warden's previous bullshit. Thanks, Luna. Yeah, I do put a lot of time into this. I think it's worth it. I feel like I have a very unique opportunity to ensure that somebody who would never have otherwise had this chance in their life, even if it's just one of you, has this opportunity. And I think that's payment enough. Thanks, Smox Fox. I think it's going to be, I think the market's going to crash, but I think it's going to be a combination of those factors. I think it's going to be GME. I think it's going to be the bond market. I suspect we'll see a period of hyperinflation, maybe a year or two. It's going to be rough, and we are going to be villainized. Well, thank you, London. I'm glad you liked that, but it's true. It's like if you're playing basketball and you're in the fourth quarter and it's 80-0. What do you really have to do at that point, right? That's the position we're in. Nothing. You just wait for the game to end. Like if you own GME right now, you've already won the game. Are you going to negotiate, the best contract for yourself next season? I really shouldn't use sports analogies because I hate sports, but like, are you going to negotiate the best contract for yourself for the next season? That's up to you. Where's the paper trade option on Webull? I believe it's on the desktop app. It's the bottom icon on the left, and on the phone it is in the menu. Oh, Webull also does paper trade competitions, which are pretty fun. Am I wrong for wanting to peak early next year to reduce cap gains tax? I mean, if you hold long enough, I don't think it'll matter. You can also move to like Puerto Rico and not pay capital gains tax. There's a lot of options. A good tax attorney can get you out of a lot of your capital gains tax. There's a word for this, not an accountant. I can't think of it. Whatever your debt to the IRS is called. Tax liability. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it is your money. Thanks, Luna. I appreciate that. Stop cutting onions in here. The MOASS is the pickles we brined along the way. See you Monday, J Fresh. Tax burden. Yeah, tax liability. Tax burden. I don't know. My friend already rented an apartment in like San Juan in Puerto Rico. He has more than I do. Mostly just because he's rich. But he rented an apartment in San Juan, like changed it to his mailing address, flew there, got an ID. So he's just gonna fly there and execute his sell order for MOASS from Puerto Rico, so he doesn't have to pay any capital gains tax. It's super shady, but it works, I guess. So, and with the amount of shares he has, like, it's probably worth it. But he's like a XX, like high XXXXXX holder. It's like 5X. He's got almost half of DFE's position, which is nuts. But he's also a paper-handed bitch, which I'll tell him to his face. Actually, he might be watching right now. So far, I know I need to find a local fiduciary and look into CDARs for housing money after MOASS. Anything else on the must-do list? I don't know if I'd find a local fiduciary. I'd find a good one. And then I'd find more good ones. It's not just one. You don't need just one, right? Like, you need multiple fiduciaries. You need a planner. You need an advisor. You need, like a CPA. You need a tax attorney. You probably want, like a lawyer with, estate planning. You probably want another lawyer on retainer for like civil liability. Like, that's just the beginning. I guess it depends on how much money you make, but that's just the beginning of it. And that just gets more complicated and expensive. But do you think JG Wentworth can help initiate the MOASS? Why are they trying to sue Citadel or something? Oh, it'll wreck the world economy. Unable to Dan. Hyperinflation in the US is just hyperinflation around the globe. I mean, we're not the only economy that was just obliterated by COVID, right? I really enjoy these member streams so far. Thanks, Aaron. I'll gladly pay 40% on 10 million. That's 6 million I didn't have the day before. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way too. A lot of people are just gonna pay the taxes. My only issue with that is I don't trust the government to do anything useful with that 40% of my money, right? So I'd want to pay them like whatever I owe after, and I'll follow the rules. I'm not going to do anything illegal, but to like hide my money, but I will attempt to pay as like just the bare minimum of what I owe. I'm not going to give them extra. But that's some people trust the government. They're like, oh, yeah, the government's going to take this money and they're going to do great things for people, and I just don't think that's true. I think the government's going to get that money and give it right back to the people we just got it from. How early on in the so I started following Wall Street Bets in like March of last year, just because I thought it was funny. I liked like looking at people's like gain and loss porn and like their idiot plays, and I thought all that was hysterical. And then I saw DFB space. I just never like looked into them. And then I think I saw one of his YouTube videos actually, and that's when I like actually went and looked at his posts, and he had a really good thesis, and I was like, this is like a good investment, like a really good investment. I bought Coca-Cola in the 1930s investment, and I was like, I'm not gonna miss this, and so I bought some. And that was back when people were. I think that was in like end of November, early December. I was a bit late onto the train, but I mean the cost average back then was nothing. And then I bought more in February. Like probably tripled my position in February. And people were like, "Oh man, the things people were saying to him back then." So many of those posts have been deleted nowadays, but it was everyone was so against him, and he was just like, "I'm just gonna post this for the people that want to know." And he didn't have to do that, right? He could have just kept it to himself and never said a word. and everybody would just be bag holding from the January FOMO. Like nobody would have a good position, right? Except him. But he did. And that's noble, if nothing else. Where do you start when looking for these things? For what, Chris? I'm definitely headed to Seattle for my fiduciary. I would look in major cities, depending on your position. I mean, like, if you walk away with like a few $1,000,000, then you know, you probably don't need to go that in depth with the fiduciaries. You probably just need like a CPA, a tax attorney, and like a financial planner. And you need to listen to them. You need to make sure you can trust them. I mean, I would still source them from like a major city, big firms with something to lose. Amazon is currently paying $20K per container for import. Inflation's about to hit. Yeah, it is. Soon. I'm just going into hiding. Yeah, I mean, you can always stuff it all in a mattress, right? I can't rag on rich people for not paying their fair share and then be a hypocrite when it's my turn. That's fair. But rich people don't pay their fair share because the government incentivizes that. The government allows them to not pay their fair share, right? So ultimately, that's still the government's fault, not the rich people. Like, if you're wealthy, your interest is in protecting your money. And like, for any of us that want to like affect change from this, right? Like, if you want to like affect some sort of change from the status quo, if you want to use these gains to change the world, you need to grow them. You need to protect them, and you need to grow them, and you need to become the thing you hate in a better way, right? Because that's what our economy incentivizes. And so like some of us at least would need to become, you know, the Warren Buffetts and the Bill Gates of the world, but use that money like, and then remember like why we did it, right? And that's going to be even fewer than hold at the peak of MOASS, right? But that's, I mean, like, that's the game that society has given us to win. And so like like, you're not going to change the world by, you know, donating half your money to the US government or helping out your favorite charity. Later, John. Oh, I remember Sam. Yeah, people were like, "You're an idiot. Stop posting this shit on here." It was so much hate. And then like 2 months later, the same exact people are like, "Oh, I made so much money on GME. Look at this. Look at my gain porn." Oh, they're definitely gonna create like a smear campaign. Absolutely, they're gonna paint us in the worst possible way. There was already like something on the news the other day that somebody was talking about. I'm not sure on this. I didn't see it. They're like calling us like financial terrorists. And then, you know, we still have a contingent of people who are like hanging out outside Citadel with, you know, drones and flying them around. And that doesn't make us look like a sane bunch of investors, does it? You don't see Warren Buffett, you know, flying his drone around Wall Street. The entire bear thesis at this point is this can't happen, but the math says, yeah, essentially. Don't fight against the current system. Yeah, essentially, Ape Angel Fire. And if we don't protect like what we make here, right? If we don't protect it and we don't use it wisely, it'll just be zero. Like it'll have no intrinsic change. Like most apes are just going to become the rich people that they talk about hating, right? They're going to have big houses. They're going to protect their money. They're going to run their businesses efficiently. And like they're gonna do like they're not gonna pay people living wages. They're gonna do all the awful shit that they blame rich people for because being rich incentivizes that behavior. So the question is can you do all those things and be an awful rich person, but then when you reach a point of being wealthy, use that money to then change the world, and that's something that no one's really ever done. And I wonder if a large group of previously impoverished people would change that. Let's keep taking pictures of their lit up building at midnight. RC RC's in it to make money. He sees an opportunity, and he's right. And he effectively performed a hostile takeover on GameStop. Like, there's no heroes in this. Everyone's in this for their own cause. RC doesn't give a shit if we become rich. He cares about him becoming rich. That's why he spent, the money he did buying into the company. During MOASS, would you consider keeping the Saturday streams? Maybe, but I wouldn't talk about MOASS. Yeah, that's true. Duke Rutherford is that most of that money, most of this money, most of the money that apes make off this is going to go right back to the people that it was taken from. And I think everybody's first goal should be to prevent that from happening. So when you're out buying your Lamborghinis and your yachts and blowing money at casinos, remember that. Remember that you're giving back that money to the people that you wanted so badly to take it from. The same fraudulent market manipulators that have cut out the American middle class and created a 99% divide between the rich and the wealthy and the poor. And remember that, you know. Bill Gates makes an effort. You should look into the Bill Gates and Melinda Foundation a little more closely. He doesn't make an effort. He's also currently buying up all the farmland in the U.S., which is, I can get into that, but no, Bill Gates is definitely not anybody's hero either. He keeps his PR looking good, but so does Elon, so does Buffett. Yeah, no heroes. I've returned to a keyboard. Bill Gates doesn't make an effort. Agreed. No MOASS GME talk. That's gonna be hard, right? Not to talk about MOASS. That's all anyone's gonna ask about. They'll be like, "Come on, man, just tell me. Like, are we close yet? Is it almost over?" That's gonna be the whole chat. I've already gone over, but I'll whatever questions are still currently in chat, I will hold. I will finish, and then I'm gonna head out for the day. Just listed for the last hour while walking my kids around the neighborhood for breakfast. Oh, cool. I think there's a good possibility that RC caught onto the GME situation on Reddit and really went all in. Maybe. I think RC was looking for like a post-pandemic play, and GME was a good one. I don't know if he came to that conclusion based on DFV. Maybe. There's a possibility, right? RC owns over 9 million shares, right? He's got to have some serious gains. Oh, yeah. But like he can't sell he's the chairman of the board. So like if MOASS happens, he can't sell them. So MOASS is of no benefit to him, which is something I think everyone forgets. Like it gets the shorts off his stock, and that's the best outcome for him of this whole thing. And that's why you don't see GME like doing a lot about this, right? Like even though they could potentially trigger the squeeze, like they don't want to be responsible for it. Recommendations or examples of paper trading, tracking spreadsheets. I just used Excel. You can just use Excel. Set up like an Excel and use it. I have mine somewhere from back when I paper traded. If I find it, I'll like upload it on the Discord or something like that. Recommendations. Not understanding just how badly Americans say go wrong is the grandest failure of imagination in human history. Could be BlackRock. I mean, BlackRock's a lender too, right? That's a fun fact for you. BlackRock is one of the lenders we discussed yesterday, Sam. So BlackRock is one of the people lending the shorts the shares at 1%. Trust me, it all ties together. It's just you see so many people pulling at the wrong threads. If they were pulling at the right ones, every ape would hold to 10 million. But at least I got, 4,300 of you now that know better, at least. Y'all have, I hope I've given you all a better chance. GME Uranus, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I'm the first trillionaire, and that might float RC's boat. Yeah. I mean, he'll be a trillionaire until MOASS is over, and then he won't be a trillionaire, but he can't, he won't be able to sell during it. So it's not like he can just sell out when it hits 10 million a share. He'll just be it'll be like when Bezos was a trillionaire for like a day or whatever. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You all have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, I'll see you Monday morning. Look for the video tonight. Look for the DD tomorrow. If you guys can give that an upvote, it's super helpful. Have a great weekend, guys. I'll see you all Monday morning.